The line cutter. It was 3 a.m. on Black Friday, and my heart was pounding like a war drum in my chest. I was standing behind the counter at our electronics store, scanning the endless line of customers that stretched as far as the eye could see. I'd been working retail for a few years, but I had never seen anything like this before. We had maybe 100 people waiting in line to check out at one point. Just an hour earlier, my co-workers and I had been laughing and joking, as we prepared for the onslaught of bargain-hunting shoppers. We knew it would be a busy day, but we had no idea just how chaotic it would become. As soon as the doors opened, the customers flooded in like a tidal wave, filling every aisle and leaving a trail of destruction in their wake. The tension in the store was palpable, with tempers flaring and customers fighting over the last discounted TV or gaming console. Amid the chaos, I was trying my best to keep my cool and provide the best possible customer service. Just when I thought things couldn't get any crazier, a man in a suit barged his way to the front of the line, pushing and shoving other customers out of his way. He slammed a high-end camera onto the counter, demanding that I ring it up immediately. I looked at the people who had been waiting patiently in line, their expressions a mix of outrage and disbelief. I knew I had to do something, so I took a deep breath and calmly told the man that he would have to wait his turn like everyone else. The man's face turned red with rage, and he began hurling insults and threats. I could feel the eyes of the entire store on me, and I could sense the tension rising to a boiling point. As the man continued his tirade, a young mother with a baby in her arms approached the counter. She'd been waiting in line for what must have felt like an eternity, and she looked absolutely exhausted. She gently tapped the man on the shoulder and spoke softly, "Excuse me, sir. I think you dropped this." She handed him a small, crumpled piece of paper. The man snatched the paper from her hand, his anger momentarily forgotten. He stared at the paper for a moment, and I could see his face soften with shame. He looked back at the young mother and, without a word, walked to the back of the line. The entire store seemed to let out a collective sigh of relief. The young mother turned to me and offered a tired but genuine smile. I rang up her items as quickly as I could, making sure she got the best deals on her purchases. The rest of the day was still a whirlwind of activity, but that moment had changed the atmosphere in the store. People were kinder to one another, more patient and understanding. It was as if they had all been reminded of what truly mattered, beyond the sales and material possessions. By the time my shift ended, I was physically and emotionally drained. I stumbled out of the store, taking in a deep breath of the crisp night air. As I walked to my car, I couldn't help but smile, reflecting on the day's events. It was a Black Friday that I would never forget, not because of the chaos, but because of the kindness and humanity that had shone through when it was needed the most. A Neural Narration Story.